Hi. I'm not hosting, by the way. There's no real host to this, but I've got notes and I'll go through them. So we'll just start with we've seen Terrifier 3 children. We
Yes.
went to the movies. Um, Me and Baron went it together. Dorian saw before. You went to the opening, yeah?
Yeah, I saw it for Monster Fest. So I saw it on the Saturday before it actually came out.
That's cool.
No,
Yeah, that's cool. How was that? How was that? How did
Oh,
the new
it was
farm
good.
do? Yeah. Was it?
No,
No, where was
I
it?
was at in the city.
Okay. But they put on some festivities outside, a kind of
Yeah.
little thing. Yeah. How was Art
Yeah.
the Clown? How was the guy who did the roving
Yeah.
character?
Yeah, I mean, he just had like a latex mask on, so obviously he wasn't really able to emote. But
Hmm.
yeah, given that restriction, yeah, he did. It was
Okay, cool.
fun watching him,
Yeah.
you know, give people a bit of a fright.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's Terrifier 3. We've been waiting for this.
Yes.
All of horror, the whole culture has
Yes.
been waiting for this. It seems that the mainstream
Mm,
culture, has been
yeah.
keen for this because this is number one as of today.
Yes.
Yeah. We're
Yep.
recording on the 15th. It came out, was it the 11th
yeah.
Yeah.
officially? Yeah.
Yep.
And it's number one in America, an indie horror film. And
Yes.
yeah, a really gory, crazy one at that.
They're killing
Um,
the sound movie at the moment.
Yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, we'll do this chronologically. Dorian, you saw it
Mm,
first, so yeah.
mm.
Terrifier 3, your general thoughts and also just Terrifier,
Oh,
Art the Clown, the
yeah.
whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I absolutely loved Terrifier 3. It's so much fun. I also felt that the pacing was a lot better than the previous one. Like that was the main issue I think everyone has with Terrifier 2, that you really feel the runtime by the end of the film. Terrifier 3 is still over 2 hours long, but just
Mhm.
barely. But
Just
still,
barely, yeah.
it's a 2 hour movie still.
Mm,
But you
mm,
don't really feel that runtime.
hmm
It's
hmm
so funny, just like because David Howard Thornton is just once again absolutely incredible, and he's just really funny as well as being incredibly brutal and violent. And it's
He
just,
took it to new
oh, it was
layers,
just
both of those
yes,
layers
oh
of,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
so much
art.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me with Terrifier as a whole, so I watched All Hallows Eve probably around like shortly after it came out, and the actor who plays Art in that is a different actor.
Hmm. Yeah.
A Yeah, Mike
Yes.
Gianelli.
That's it. Yeah.
Um, he's a lot different to David Howard Thornton's performance, but he was still really good in that. And
He gave it his all.
the
There is only acting
yeah,
credits.
yeah, and essentially that's kind of like an anthology movie, and that has The Ninth Circle, which was David Damien Leone's like first little short film that involves the Art the Clown. So The Night Circle is in All Hallows Eve, and then also his second short film that he did called Terrifier is the third
Hmm.
segment in All Hallows Eve. And then the wraparound story also involves Art the Clown. And that wraparound story
Hmm.
ends with a like a
Hmm.
fourth wall break kind of thing. And so me first watching that movie, I'm like, okay, like this is genuinely creeping me out. This guy is so creepy. I kind of hate it.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
like just seeing the poster for All Hallows Eve afterwards would just give me the like I don't like looking at that. But then Terrifier came out, and I'm like, I need to fucking see. It's that creepy clown again. I need to see this
Yes.
movie. I need to see it,
Yeah.
even though like really genuinely creeped me out for All Hallows Eve. Terrifier, I'm like, I need to see it. So I've been on the Terrifier train from the get-go, almost as
Yeah.
early as I could
Yeah.
possibly be.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. And we'll break down that history as I go
Yeah.
into the notes because there's quite a bit involved with it. But it's a real hero story for horror
Mm.
to get
Yeah.
to this point.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Because there's the whole thing. Yeah, do we need to touch on it? Because we've already touched on it a little, but I did mention it's number one because there's also the DC's release with Joker, a
Yeah.
folly, not folly.
Yeah, I don't
Dude.
speak French. I don't know the correct way to pronounce it.
Um, but
Polly,
yeah, but Baron, but
There you
please,
go.
it's as we all know, it's just a disaster. Yeah, and everyone's surprised that this movie has also surpassed that movie. Everyone considered this was going to be the movie that would take Terrifier 3 spot at this point of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because both reflect what's going on in society in different ways at the moment, etc. If you want. But hey, have you seen the Joker Part 2, Dorian?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Baron has. Okay, speak on it because as a pod, we don't generally want to shit on things and critique things if we haven't seen it as well, because I haven't. But Baron, you have, so you speak, please.
So this feels like art class now, where we're going to compare and contrast the oeuvre of clown movies in the cinema 2024. Look, okay, so I didn't hate Jokey. I didn't hate Joker Folie à Deux. But I should have loved it given that I'm a huge comics nerd and it's the Joker. And given how much I enjoyed Joker, the first Joaquin Phoenix film, I should have loved this. It didn't suck. Like, I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. However, I think people are challenged by the change in genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think genre wasn't particularly well handled by the studio. I really enjoyed Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and I think she could have been more. And I think they could have gone deeper with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker instead of almost resetting him back to the sad sack that he was at the start of the first movie. So that he pretty much spends the whole movie in prison, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard. Yes, the Arthur Fleck thing. Yeah.
He's sad, skinny, and he's got no power. And the only power he seems internally and with his dreams and fantasies and with Harley Quinn's character, who they refer to as Lee, in the
yeah. Do you recommend, just quickly, because this is the last time we will cover it as a pod, so do you recommend people see it if they enjoyed the first one?
If you enjoyed the first one, see it to see the next part of the story. There is a background character who is absolutely killing it. And every time they pan past this particular character, he steals the focus and he becomes pivotal to the climax of the film.
Okay.
This is the character that says maybe 12 words in the whole film.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so there is the surprise though that art has taken their spot and taken the crown, and I think it's well deserved because this movie is very impressive. After I've seen it, definitely want to see it again. But after I've seen it, it sat with me because after Terrifier 2, I was almost jubilant after that. You know what I mean? I was ecstatic. Yeah. This one, I had more of a sedated, kind of somber feeling. I had to sit with it, but as I've sat with it, it's grown on me very much so. This is really quite well accomplished, and it's a good response to all of the criticisms. It's growing well as a franchise, but also as a mythos. It's unraveling like a series in almost a Lynchian dreamscape logic way, which was one of his intentions when he initially approached the whole Terrifier universe, if you will. First one I thought was fine. I thought this is a cool 80s throwback. I see why people who like this sort of thing a lot. I'm medium ground with it. Who like it a lot would really like this. I know you like it, Dorian. Number 2, yes, as I say, it was the right time and place. I needed a film like this. So I fell in love with the Clown with part 2. And this one, it's just something different. And each one does subtly suggest and put forward something different to a very simple setup. But the mythos is deeper, and the little bits that we get to know, like the dreamscape one with the blacksmith. We'll get into it, but that shit's dope. That shit's cool, and I really look forward to where part 4 is going. Baron, Terrifier 3. What say you, please?
I really enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed the first 2 films and you like horror, go and see it. I was disappointed though that I didn't vomit and my heart rate didn't go up to 108 according to the media. I did keep checking my Fitbit throughout, and my heart rate never got above 95. I was very disappointed. I had a throw up bag, and I didn't need to use it. I got lied to by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It was definitely intense in moments, though. My gut it started to hint at churning. Sort of, it was just like, well, how far are they going to go with this? Like, how much of this can we get into when it gets into the genitalia, the mutilation of, and all that sort of thing, and when it gets equal rights, on the bifurcation
that was
of bodies.
So good. Oh, that was so good.
Trying not to spoil at this stage. I'm going to go into notes in history, so be spoiler time soon. But no, everything was great. It was worth waiting for. I'm so happy it's got the #1 spot. It shows that indie filmmaking does succeed, and that horror is king. Horror rules. Horror is #1, and this proves it. Baron?
It's 1% of the budget of Joker Folia 2.
Yeah, wow.
Like $1 million as opposed to $200 million.
Yeah.
Do we know what it's earned already?
I can find out.
Yes, please, there, Baron. That would be great. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Why do you think? Okay, while you do that, there, Baron, Dorian, why do you think people navigate towards Terrifier and the Terrifier films and Art the Clown? Yeah,
I think, partially like Art the Clown is such an iconic look, iconic character, so that obviously
it's
plays a major role. But then
clown,
he's referred to as a clown, but technically he would be considered a mime. But it's fine. Who cares? But I think also just because it's just, yes, this is absolutely gnarly and grotesque that's happening, but also everyone is just having fun. It's just having fun with it. Like, yes, here's something disgusting and, potentially stomach churning for people, and let's just have fun with it. Let's see how far we can push it, kind of thing. And I think that's a thing. And then also because you have kind of in the media it being like, oh, this it's getting this kind of reaction from people and blah blah blah, then it means people are gonna want to see it as a personal challenge for themselves.
Humans are like that. That's a human instinct.
Let's see how, if I'll tough it out. Let's see if that's all a load of bullshit.
Everyone
we did
their
have
head at a road crash or
at
really wants to. That's a human instinct.
At the screening that I went to for Monster Fest, I know for a fact that there was at least one person who had to leave because they were feeling queasy during the shower scene.
Okay. I believe
I had a chat with him afterwards as I was leaving the cinema.
Yeah. I believe that it has happened to some degree. Yeah, I would say that it has happened to some degree because you've got everyone going to this film. Even children relate to this character. Watching Damien being interviewed. So you haven't seen any of this, and the parents are like, no, they just really like the look, the vibe, as they say, of Art the Clown. It resonates.
Have you seen the videos that Bloody Disgusting had posted? There's one of him going to Spencer's Gifts. And also one of him going to Spirit Halloween and just going around and looking at all the Terrifier merch and that kind of stuff. But for the Spirit Halloween one, I think it is. Yeah. There's like bits of him just like getting photos of people being like, just like, oh my God, yes. But a whole bunch of like kids being like, just wanting to get photos with him.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah,
I don't know if you know who this character is, like actually know. As opposed to, hey, it's a clown.
It's the genius of the clown that is David Howard Thornton.
Yeah.
So Damien Leone, who is the director. David is Art the Clown. He's like a living, what do they call him? Not Bugs Bunny. Roger Rabbit. Yeah.
Roger
Rabbit.
I watched a movie earlier that's called Stream. It came out this year.
Yeah, familiar. Haven't
Dam
seen it yet.
Damien Leone is the head special effects stuff. So you like the
Yeah.
gore and special effects in Terrifier, check out Stream. Jeffrey Combs is the main villain in it.
Oh, brilliant.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
sold.
and
Yeah.
David Howard Thornton is in it. His character in that doesn't speak and is wearing a mask
Okay.
the whole time.
That's a very
And
pertinent, cool
he has a
recommendation. Thank you.
very, very similar physicality to how he is as Art the Clown.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
one of the most iconic kills in that movie is one that he is involved with. And
Hmm.
it was very, very
Hmm.
fun, that
Hmm.
kill. So
Brilliant.
yeah,
Brilliant.
Stream.
Art the Clown has brought in 18.3 to 18.5 million dollars this week, as opposed to Joker Folie à Deux 7.
And it opened 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Now, that's only American numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's apparently like number one in France or something
Yes,
like
which is
that. I know
ironic. You
in
know why it's
France. Yeah.
ironic? Because they ban people under 18-year-old going to
Yeah.
see it. 18
Yeah.
years old going to see it.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because most of them are snuck in.
Mm.
It's not
Yeah.
going to be that
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything anyone wants to say? Because we're not going to go. We're going to go and watch it if you haven't already. Yeah, because don't want any even light spoilers that we're going
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
into. Yeah, just talking about
Yeah.
history and production and such.
Mm.
Yeah, but I just wanted to just go over a little more detail how this whole thing came to be because we have a new horror icon. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, it's absolutely set in stone. Yeah,
Yeah.
in cement.
Yeah.
With this movie, with the third iteration. Okay. We'll say it now. There is a part four, and that is to be
Yes.
the end. That is to be the end. Damien stated it himself, and I believe him. He's a very
Mm.
concise and incisive artist. Yeah.
Because essentially this whole story is something that he has been planning from the beginning. It's just a matter
Mhm.
of how many
I can
movies
see
it'll
that
take
now.
to tell that
Yeah, I
story.
can see that now. The way it unravels like a series
Mm.
almost that you'd
Yeah.
watch back in the day. Yeah. And he wants it to be experimental and crazy, definitely. And what was hinted at the end, very
Mm.
excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, this is interesting. This just came to me. I will get the Evil Dead 3 that I wanted that was hinted at the end of Evil Dead 2, not
Oh.
Army of Darkness, because not bolster my own opinion here, but Damien has said himself he likes comedy horror, and there's a whole thing with art and comedy and horror and the balance
Yeah.
of funny guy and
Yeah.
complete psychopath sicko.
Yeah,
And
because
he's said that one second, he said that Army
yeah.
of Darkness went too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why and we'll start it here.
Mm.
We'll start it here. That's why at the start, the film within the film, the cold open, which is about 10 to 12 minutes long,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little Christmas movie. That's what he wanted to remind people. No, you cannot trust this guy. This guy is still a
Yeah.
psychopath. And spoilers go
Yeah.
away now. Okay, cool. See when you come back. He's possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
Mm. So first of all, what did you guys think of this cold open? This Christmas movie?
Yeah. So good. Apparently, like, when they were kind of like shopping around for like producers or whoever, the script for this opening 10 minutes, people seeing that and they were like, we're not fucking making this, we're not bankrolling this. Are you kidding me? For, this, little opening here. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
Understandable.
like that opening is so good, so fun. It
Yeah.
really just like, yeah, this is what you're in for. Get ready.
Should
a lot
preface
of
by
a lot
saying
of children die in this movie.
a lot of children die in this movie. Absolutely. And there was the whole thing with the build-up. There was a teaser trailer, yes, where it heavily
Yeah.
suggested that he's going to take an axe to a small child.
Yeah.
What did you think of the way that this cold open dealt with the killing of children?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I mean, yeah, like I said, a lot of children die in this, but you don't actually see any of them
No.
getting killed. Like it
No.
happens
Yeah.
off screen or, certain editing where you know exactly what it is that's happened. And I mean, admittedly, in this cold open, you do see a chopped up body, but like you don't see him hacking apart a child.
No.
No.
They dealt with Well, I thought it was beautifully done.
Yeah.
It's still extreme, it's still intense. Don't
Mm.
worry, sickos
Yeah.
amongst the children out there, as I know there are plenty.
Yes.
When you
Really
hear
feel
the
yourself.
you hear the
Mm.
sound of a child being killed. The first
Yes.
kill is a child being killed, and you hear, I forget entirely, I've only seen it once, but it's from downstairs to upstairs.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, and you hear the axe going in, and you hear the squelch, the squelching
Yeah.
sounds, the liquid sounds. Yep, it's Damien Leone, of course.
Mm.
Not so
Excellent
much,
sound
because we'll
work.
get into the makeup and
Mm.
after this, but it's Damien Leone. You get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's his style. But yeah, the kid's been killed that way, and that intensifies when it gets to the second killing of a lot of
Mm.
children. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, you don't see, but the level of the slaughter is Batman villainary level.
I laughed out loud.
Like this is how batshit insane and how fun this movie is that you have like all these children getting killed and I'm there cackling about it. Like
And yeah, no,
so
I
much
was at
violence
New
is
Farm.
happening
It
in
was
this
ridiculous.
movie
Yeah.
and I'm there laughing my head
Mhm.
off at it because
Mhm.
it's so over the top. It's so
Mhm.
cartoonishly over the top, even though it is absolutely vile and grotesque. Because it's so over the top, you can't help but
Come
laugh
back.
at it. And then
Yeah, cool.
also,
Yeah, yeah,
Art's whole the way that he's
yeah,
emoting and carrying on during it all
yeah,
as well just adds to that kind of comedy. So it's very
yeah.
much a horror movie that is funny as opposed to, you know, something that's a little bit more trying to be more 50-50 horror
Yes.
comedy kind of thing.
And I think that's part of its mass appeal because he is
Mm,
very much crazy level funny,
yeah.
cartoon like the Roger Rabbit
Yeah.
think level
Mm.
funny. As soon as he's done something so horrific that none of us have even thought about possible before.
In that cold open afterwards when he's there eating the milk and cookies that are left
Mhm.
out and he's just eating it like the cookies so daintily and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
washing the dishes
Yeah.
after like brutally murdering this family.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
washes his hands with his bloody
Yeah,
gloves on, I think,
yeah.
after um did anyone spot the big movie reference? Because it's an intentional homage
Oh
to
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
sitting in the chair waiting for five
Yeah.
years. Yeah, Black Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. The
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
I'm like, oh
yeah,
my God, this is so fucking Black Christmas
yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
That was cool. The shower scene, which was
Mm.
okay. We have to ask ourselves at this point then, did they outdo because lots of people asking, the internet was asking the bedroom scene of T2,
Mm.
yeah, Terrifier
Yeah.
2.
Mm.
I don't think they did, but the overall level of violence is greater in
Mm.
T3 than in T2.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
Yep.
shower
Yep.
scene is great. It's
Mm.
crazy. They split a guy anus up into it's fucking nuts. And there's the slicing of the balls,
Oh.
the jet. Oh, it's so
No,
much
I was
so
saying
much
the other
guts.
day, like 2024 is the year for just nutsacks getting destroyed and you seeing it because it happened in Maxine as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's a wonderful scene in Dark City, the Cleaner, which is a TV series from New Zealand, where the male genitalia is not revered, let's just say.
Yeah, yeah, no. It's good. It's good. It's progress. I see it as progress.
Yeah.
um, Now the shower scene was a
Mm.
homage to
Mm.
Psycho, of course, but also Scarface.
Mm.
Yeah, because he does come in
Oh
there
yeah,
with the chainsaw, of
yeah.
course.
Yep.
Yeah, and kills the nice guy, kind of jockish, but nice,
Mm.
but still a nice guy.
Yeah.
But not so nice podcaster,
Yeah.
true crime
Oh, that was
podcaster.
like that. Him killing her was just so entertaining because like you're just because of stuff that she had said earlier that he was there overhearing, which cutting to his reactions to stuff that she was saying was just so funny. But so you're there like, okay, like he's gonna like in the last moment just kind of like make sure that they make eye contact and he does, and he just like the way that he toys with her during
Mhm, mhm.
it was
Did she
fun.
deserve it? I think she
Yeah.
kind of did
Oh,
after assaulting
yeah.
Sienna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's the kind of like true crime person that I fucking despise.
yeah. I
So
thought so. I thought you would be happy at
so
that.
I'm like,
Baron, what
yeah,
did
like
you,
you get
Baron?
fucked.
What did you think? What did you find about? By the way, Annie Letterman, shout out for getting the I don't know her, but shout out for getting the cameo role in when they had the footage of the actual podcast being screened. The older chick, she's a New York comedian, Philly comedian. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal for her.
Yeah.
And sorry, Tim Dillon, about Joker too. Yeah. Another comedian, but he's slamming it on the podcast. And he's going on it. He's just destroying it. It's hilarious. Sorry, what was I saying? Don't lose track, Jane.
You're going to ask me something.
Yeah, the podcast. What did you think of all that? Yes, the representation, how that was conveyed, and her character. Did she deserve it ultimately?
It's very Hollywood, the way it was displayed. And yeah, she definitely deserved the death that she got. And we deserved to see it. It was good that it wasn't. The other way I'd have done it is had her killed while she was recording a podcast and then have someone reacting to the audio.
Ooh, that's nasty work. I like it.
Yeah. I like the fact that we got to see it on screen.
Yeah.
No, the shower scene was very, very satisfying.
In all its glory.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because these kills take a long time. Because here's a clown, of course.
Yeah,
he is a clown. He's a killer clown, and Damien always wanted to have a killer clown in the horror, lexicon, if you will. There is Pennywise, yes, and he reveres and loves Pennywise. And of course, when he got the Stephen King tweets, so on the second one, Terrifier 2, grossing you out old school, and put it on the DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah, that was huge for him. It was like, I'm done. He always wanted a killer clown. He always wanted a killer clown, and he loves Pennywise and Stephen King, but he wanted to be the antithesis of Pennywise. Yeah, that's why he's black and white. That's why he's bald. And that's why the kills take a really, really long time. Yeah. So he's very different to a lot of slashers. Yeah. He's everything. He uses and utilizes everything, including firearms. There, I got that.
Yes.
What do we think of the use of firearms?
Okay. Because it's something that in these kinds of movies, like slashers and horror movies and all that kind of stuff in general, they never use guns. So, like in the first Terrifier, when he just out, you think that Tara's finally gotten him beat, and they're just out of nowhere, he just pulls out a gun and shoots her. It's so abrupt and so out of nowhere.
Yeah, totally.
So it's so disarming. It's so just like, it isn't what you expect to have, like a slasher villain just pull out a gun and shoot people, that it works because he isn't always doing it. It's something that, he just does it, for one kill and that's it.
Yep.
And so like if it was doing it more frequently than that, then it wouldn't be as effective. But
true.
Like when he does do it, it's just, it works because it's just like, he's just using whatever is at his disposal.
Absolutely. And he kills people with a gun in the way that he does with other weapons. He wants to mutilate them. He wants to, rip them apart. He wants, it's not just shoot them dead for the purpose of efficiency or anything like that, to expedite the death. Definitely not. He wants to disfigure them with guns, as when he shot so-and-so, I forget, in the face. So I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. The Shining reference with through the that was purely incidental, if you will, because it's actually with the axe, the whole thing in the cold open, to bring it back with him with the axe. It's actually a homage to a Tales from the Crypt episode, and all through the house. And that's got a creepy Santa with an axe in it. Do you know that one, Baron?
Yes, I do. And now that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Shining. But you're right.
Of course. It is
Crypt.
Yeah. And that's from the 70s UK version primarily, even though he likes, I think it's Zemeckis' 90s one as well. And so face through the door, David just improvised that on the spot. On set, because of course you do. Of course
you can't not.
Okay, so we had a lot of famous old character actors in the bar And
Yes.
where Art first spots Santa Claus. Baron, this is your territory. Please go. Dorian, jump in if you will, but Baron, go.
That's okay. So the three actors we have in the bar are Clint Howard, Daniel Roebuck, and Bradley Stryker. I'll work backwards. So Bradley Stryker was playing the bartender. I'm just trying to find his name.
It was very wary of Art.
Eddie. Eddie.
Yeah.
Playing Eddie. Clint Howard plays a character called Smokey, who's not named, and Daniel Roebuck plays Santa, with a spectacular beard. So the beard was prosthetic.
Was it really? That was good.
Art on the beard and it doesn't come off, which I really enjoyed. But people will know Clint Howard. He's Ron Howard's brother, as in the director, writer.
Yeah.
Screen.
What's his name from Happy Days?
Yes. So yeah, it's from Happy Days. But Clint Howard has been in Star Trek, Apollo 13, Austin Powers, The Water Boy. Like he has had a huge career that goes back to, and now my screen is frozen, so I'm just going to keep vamping while there's three little dots appearing on my screen. His career goes all the way back to the original series of Star Trek, which was in the 60s. I'm just trying to find the exact thing.
Yeah. Damon wanted to do a Quentin Tarantino type thing, bringing these guys back to give them a bit of shine.
So 1963, he's been acting since. So that's 61 years he's been acting, and you'll have seen him. He's been in every version of Star Trek, including
I'm sure.
We'll go. Hang on, that was Clint Howard. So Bradley Stryker played Eddie the bartender. I don't think there's an awful lot that he's been in that you know him from. He does a lot of TV, and like crime movies, FBI, How She Caught a Killer. Like he's got that kind of background agent sort of face happening. But yeah, a lot of TV, a lot of stuff where he plays a cop. No, there's not a lot. I think this is his. 2001. He was in a horror movie called Final Scream, but he hasn't been in a lot of horror films.
Okay.
That's Bradley Stryker. Sorry, I had it around the wrong way. Daniel Roebuck was Santa. Bradley Stryker wasn't. So yeah, Bradley Stryker was Eddie. Daniel Roebuck was Santa. You will know him from. He was in Stream as well.
Yep.
Las Vegas Frankenstein, which is terrible, but it's worth a watch. He's also played a character in Frankenstein's Mobster, Three from Hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's because I had a look. In the way that Rob Zombie likes to just a lot of the same actors. He's in a lot of Rob Zombie's stuff.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure if I placed and quickly looked. Yeah. Okay, cool. So he's a horror legend. So this is the one that, the horror people online are excited about seeing. Yeah, okay. Cool. Did you like?
I love that scene.
Yeah, you love that scene? Yeah, it's good, wasn't it?
Just
It's so good.
And seeing Santa being
he's so excited.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's Santa.
He raises the comedy of Art to a new level in that scene. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay.
And of course, Chris Jericho, who wasn't in that scene, but he's wrestler Chris Jericho movie as well.
Yeah,
Burke is his character's name.
Yeah, he's one of the orderlies in the psychiatric hospital. So he's at the end of Terrifier 2 as well.
Yeah. He's a professional wrestler. I know exactly who he is. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the dude. He's a bit of a Trump lover. But yeah, this isn't a political podcast. But yeah, well done getting to, seen in two Terrifier movies. Credit where credit's due. Okay, so we've talked about his comedy horror dynamic. in Terrifier, how this is portrayed in the film. He wanted to avoid a Freddy's dead situation, and by reminding that the audience that art is a nasty piece of work, it can never be trusted. Hence the T3 cold open, and he used Evil Dead as the perfect balance. That Army of Darkness went too far. This is all subjective, of course. Okay, so we did so the right, here we go, bit of trivia. The writing of Pig on the Walls in the films references Helter Skelter. The bedroom scene in T2 is referenced from a photo of Jack the Ripper, from one of Jack the Ripper's victims. So Damien reverse engineered the kill to achieve the scene, for the film. I also found it interesting. I watched an interview on Dead Meat as well. Shout out as always.
It is a really good interview. I highly recommend to everyone to watch it.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to get this from the horse's mouth in chronological, detail, go to that. But this is just some of the highlights of that. Okay, so with the psycho shower scene, an interesting question was raised between him and James. What would Hitchcock do now with that shower scene, and what would Damien do if he was given that knife? His answer was, of course, he would see, of course, what possible ways things it could do to the human body, every possible way and thing.
I mean, that's literally Art's MO.
What do you reckon?
In what interesting way can I fuck someone up this time?
What do you guys think Hitchcock would do then? What do you think he would do now? I think is the most interesting question out of that.
I don't know.
Do Terrifier. Probably. But I think the clown would not be as mimey as is. I think we'd probably have something more like a carnival clown, probably a bit more like Tim Curry's Pennywise rather than the more modern one.
Possibly, yeah. You ever see, Carnival of Souls? Yeah, you remember that when the carnival spooks of that, and when the general audience, turned into that something, echoing, akin to that. Would sorry, that just sprung to mind, not to interrupt. It'd be interesting. I think he would remain restrained. Definitely. So I don't I don't think he would do Terrifier. Shower scene. Sorry?
I don't know that it would be as good.
No. This is defining horror at the moment. I don't know. What do you reckon, Dorian? What do you reckon? What do you think's the impact of these films at the moment?
I'm really interested to see what kinds of movies end up coming out, especially from more independent filmmakers.
Terrifier babies.
In the wake, that always happens with anything. It gets successful enough and people get inspired by it and influenced by it. So really interested to see what Terrifier spin-offs will have. I'm sure we already have some, honestly, somewhere.
Will we see?
Just in terms of how intense and violent things get. Let's see if we got people trying to do their own version of it. I'm here for it.
Terrified? Do you reckon there'll be a Clownifier or something from like the people that made a Scary Movie?
Oh, I'm sure.
Actually,
it's very
I would not be surprised if
there is a new Scary movie coming.
Ends up having something related to Terrifier in it. I wouldn't be surprised.
This dude is in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. He has penetrated mainstream culture, popular culture across the board. And it's great. It's bizarre, but it's absolutely wonderful. Okay, but also what is wonderful, segue, is the special effects work. Now, I hinted at this before. Damien Leone, of course, is a special effects wizard, and he was that before he became a filmmaker. Okay, because it was certainly the short, Terrifier the short, because that was after the Ninth Circle, which was in All Hallows Eve, because what was his name? it comes up. I've got the producer's name coming up. Wanted it for that movie. So that one and the first one are a showcase of his skills. But he had to do the first one and second one largely out of necessity, pure and simple. Didn't have money to pull off what he needed to pull off.
Yeah.
But he had 2 million budget on this one.
Yeah.
Because he got this time the second Indigo, the crowdfunding campaign worked, and they asked for 50K and they got over 250K.
Yeah.
And so they ended up with a budget of, I don't know, I forget that one, but for this one, they have 2 million. They have 2 million to play with after the success of Terrifier 2. So he outsourced a lot of fucking OGs and geniuses at the game. So I'll go through them, and Dorian Baron, but Dorian, respond as you will. I'm sure you know these people. Okay, so the FX supervisor. I mean, Damien oversees everything as like a Vince McMahon way at this point. But the main person overseeing everything on the floor is the special effects supervisor, Jason Baker. Do we know Jason Baker? Okay.
I do not.
He is, for your wrestling fans, he created Bray Wyatt's mask for The Fiend. Yeah. He's worked on The Black Phone. He worked on Terrifier 2. Smoke and Mirrors, the story of Tom Savini. So he's a metal goth punk subculture movie horror dude. And so he's actually got a lot of people he just respects and admires. He's got Christian Tinsley. He's the primary effects artist. This guy.
Yeah. That began their work with The Last Temptation of Christ. It was making the makeup quicker.
Transfers.
Passion of the Christ. That was what basically Christian Tinsley was the one who came up with prosthetic prosade transfers. So essentially the entirety of that prosthetic is made out of prosade instead of prosade being prosthetic adhesive. Instead of having that adhesive being like there's your skin, there's your adhesive, there's your prosthetic, a prosade transfer, the entirety of it is made, I won't get into the exactly how it's made,
we
but
have
you
broken
essentially
it down before.
You turn that prosade into like something solid so it can be a actual prosthetic. But then the entire thing is made of prosade, so you don't have to worry about that glue breaking down because the entire thing is made of glue. So
it's genius.
If you think about what going through in terms of filming something like The Passion of the Christ,
Terrifier,
and the sweat
movie.
And the dirt and the grime and long shooting days and all that kind of stuff, you want it to be something that's really, really durable. So
and apply that to part 3. So and David had spoken about this as well because he appreciates them, of course, and I understand David. I understand having to wear this kind of stuff. And so he's great at what he does. He's worked on American Horror Story, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and it's a Coen Brothers film, so he's definitely legitimate. Who else is legitimate is John Caglione Jr. He's an Academy Award winner from Dick Tracy. Sorry, I'll just bring up my typed up notes there. Okay. So also with Baker, he with the Ironclad Demon. Damien came up with the concept, created the look of, but the Ironclad Demon was put together makeup wise and look wise by Baker, and he did the clothing of the statue of Mary. He also did the chainsaws and the weapons. Damien designed the creatures. Now, the Caglione Jr. created Mary's face and Heath Ledger's Joker's makeup. Also, David Thornton is also a great cosplayer for the Joker. That was how I very first came across him. I remember seeing him back on the internet back in the day, ages ago, like in 2013. So there is a Joker energy to this movie
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
There's
definitely.
definitely a Joker
No,
energy.
he's said recently that he wants to be the Joker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I
Just
could
as an
see that.
aside, I've had a little bit of a look at Kingsley's website, and it's very, very Terrifier themed at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
For $250, an Art the Clown Terrifier latex mask signed by Damien Leone and Art the Clown.
Awesome.
David Howard Thornton, yeah. Just if people are
Hell
interested.
yeah.
We are not sponsored by them, but if you did want to sponsor,
No.
Yeah, hey.
Make your own choices.
Now I've put here Damien edited 90% of Terrifier 3. Okay, so there is better editing. It could be again trimmed down a little more. It's less guilty of it than in Terrifier 2, as you pointed out there.
Yeah.
Now there's James pointed it out, and I did agree with him. I thought this before, but always, shout out James. He's too involved. He's too close to the material. You need an outside objective eye, pure and simple. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. And he loves all of the stuff. And there's a lot. I'm happy to see everything.
Yeah.
But I do get what people are saying. What do you guys reckon? Are these movies too long, or they're just right?
Yeah, like I said before, like I didn't really feel the runtime for Terrifier 3. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there was stuff that could be cut down from it. I mean, you could always just have a theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Cut, release a Leone cut kind of thing.
Yeah. That'd be
where
actually
it's like
quite
5
cool.
hours long.
Yeah, and have behind the
I'll watch
scenes,
that.
blah,
Yeah.
DVD, Blu-ray,
Yeah, that'd
etc.
be
That's a great idea,
cool.
actually.
Yeah.
There you go. That's on us there,
Mm.
Damien. Baron?
Yeah.
I didn't feel the runtime either. I thought it was about right. But I mean, it can be trimmed. No, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
No, it can definitely be trimmed. More concise. I don't know, because again, he did approach this with a Lynchian kind of style to it, and the way it's unraveling over a series. Art himself, the way that he approaches, just walking around the town and then killing someone. It's all erratic and all over the place.
Yeah.
There's the vibe of the way this is put together, and the way that it has developed from a makeup guy coming up with an initial idea, coming up with a short film, funding problems, pandemic, having to just put it on YouTube, funded himself. This is just like a small child growing up. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? This is evolving as it goes. We're seeing this come to be in real time, pretty much. Yeah. This is a great demonstration of how independent film cinema can absolutely succeed. Yeah, if you roll with all of the punches, and they rolled with the pandemic in the amidst all of this.
The
awesome.
the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2, part of the reason why that scene is what it is because they weren't able to actually properly start filming it, and then the pandemic hit. So, they halted production for obvious reasons. And then during that time, they kind of workshopped that scene and built up on it and developed it further and further. So if COVID hadn't happened, that scene probably would have been a lot different, because they, didn't have that extra however many months to kind of just workshop it and build it up further and further and turn it into what it is now.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you wouldn't have had the whole, can they top the bedroom scene? Then you wouldn't have the intensity and just the volume, the mass of violence and gore we have in Terrifier 3. So you know what I mean? This, and it's all crowd-funded. This is just a dynamic forming as we watch it, as it grows. It's very cool. There were 6 scenes cut out of this movie. I'm very curious to see what they are.
I want to see them.
There will be an extended cut in the future. Okay, the thoughts on the actor who played Gabby. I forgot to bring her up. Baron, could you? Yeah. Does anyone have
I
that in
thought she
front
was
of
really
them?
good.
I thought she was
Um,
great. I will
I thought
say
she was
she
really
is great. Like Art, she could switch out of
mm,
acting and back into being or happy and okay, apparently a lovely, bubbly,
mm.
human being. And
yeah.
even in the tense stuff and even in the trauma stuff, because there is quite a bit of a
Oh yeah.
portrayal of trauma in this movie. We
Yeah,
have to
that ending
mention that.
is yeah, there's a lot going on in that ending.
Even before that, when Sienna just comes
Mm.
home, yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 What did we think of her portrayal of Lauren? How do you say her last name?
Lauren Lavera. Yeah, Lauren
Thank you,
Lavera is
Lavera. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, she's
She's
great.
so good. Yeah.
Where do we see her in the pantheon of final girls? Now that she's with
Uh,
this third one, she's definitely in the discussion, I would say,
yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
she's absolutely with her
Yeah.
character. But yeah, like she's definitely got that final girl energy. So
Yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely.
I'd
Can you
agree.
say, yeah, yeah, no, I agree, I agree. I like the whole martial arts thing that she
mm,
brings to it as well, because she's been
mm,
teaching that since she was 12
yeah.
years old. Not
Mm,
just doing it, teaching
yeah.
since she was 12. Yeah. And she's making her break through this as well, and I think
Mm,
that's fantastic.
yeah.
So did anyone find who Gabby's name was?
So Gabby is
That's
Antonella Rose,
Thank you,
and she
Lavelle.
was
Yeah.
also in Fear the Walking Dead.
hmm
Right.
So she's used to this sort of thing before she got into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before she entered Terrifier. She's 11, so it's quite
Mm,
extraordinary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
great little
Um,
actor.
yeah.
Mm, yeah.
And her and Sienna are very close, which is great.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting little thing. Now, you've watched the interview there,
Mm,
Dorian. So just pick me up if I've worded this
yeah.
incorrectly, if I've perceived it wrong. But Shelley Duvall was an
Mm,
influence on where he felt how far
mm,
psychologically his characters, uh, Sienna, Gabby, needed to go to fit into the heightened reality of the
yeah.
Terrifier films. Yeah.
Mm,
He did preface by saying, I'm not talking about, any processes on set or how Kubrick was it. I'm just talking
mm,
about the finished product itself. Yeah. I found that, I found that interesting.
mm,
Because you do have to go there. You can see it from
yeah.
the outside, even if you've never acted before or anything. You know what I mean? Been on a film set, you can see that this is involved. Just has to be a
Yeah.
lot to do this. Jesus
Mm,
Christ. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. He doesn't, but he doesn't destroy his actors like
Mm,
Shelley Duvall, though.
No,
Yeah, because they all praise. Every female has spoken highly of him. Yeah,
mm,
even Catherine Cochran. Yeah, from Stream
yeah.
Dreams, the great,
Yeah.
the lovely Catherine Cochran, who is in Ice Nine Kills, work of
Yes.
art. Yeah,
Uh,
music video. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's great that she's
yeah.
highlighted in the film in the way that
yeah.
she is. Yeah. Yeah. Have you watched that one there, Baron?
I have, yes. I thought it was
Yeah.
really good.
It's
Yeah.
fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. When the mosh pit gets going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The wall of death.
All of
Oh my
death
God.
and the dead baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
which is
the
my
baby
Facebook cover
lives. The
photo.
baby
Yeah, the
lives.
baby. Well, yeah, yeah.
The baby's
In
the
a
only
fashion.
survivor.
That is true, actually. You're right. It was great.
They make a point of
Yeah.
that to
Check it out.
mention.
It's on our Facebook page. So follow us
Yeah.
there and on Instagram and YouTube. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just found that interesting. I just found that interesting. Yeah, because these are intense films.
Mm.
Okay. Fave kill.
Oh.
Whoever wants to go, go. Favorite kill.
Oh, favorite kill.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
The mother.
At the start.
Mm.
No. The mother at the end with the tube.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh.
rats. You
Oh
sick
my
man.
God, I love that
You
so
sick
much.
man.
I
Yeah.
love
Hey.
that so
Oh,
much.
it's great.
Like I was Like the moment he had like the tube and the blowtorch, I'm like, I know exactly what is about to happen, and I was so pumped.
Has anyone, because they don't show it in the movie, because there's no way they could, not even this movie could
Mm.
show this. Has anyone read American Psycho?
Yes, I read it
Yeah,
way too young.
that
I read it when I was
chapter,
17.
because it takes a
Yeah.
chapter long to do
Yeah.
the thing,
Yeah.
as that book
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Because yeah, I had watched the movie, really liked the movie, and then found out about the
Okay.
fact that in Queensland it's really difficult to get a hold of the book, and they have to sell it shrink wrapped if they are gonna be willing to give it to you at all. And I'm like,
Seriously.
well, that's just making me want to read it even more. And
Yeah.
this is me not having ever come across anything remotely that disturbing. And I'm there
Yeah.
reading it, absolutely traumatized, but not stopping, just continuing. And it just lived
It's
rent free in my head for
crazy.
a
It's a
long time.
crazy
So
book. It's a
when that
crazy book.
happened in when that happened in
Yeah.
Terrifier
Yeah.
3, I'm
You
like,
too?
I've
Yeah.
been
Okay.
traumatized by American Psycho
Yeah.
years and years and years ago. This is nothing, okay?
Yeah, I had a flashback. I had a
Yeah,
flashback to
yeah,
that chapter, though.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you never have read it, and if you were listening to
Mm,
this, you were listening, watching
yeah,
to this, do read
Yeah.
it. Have
yeah.
you ever read
Yeah.
it there, Baron?
Yeah.
It's a goodie. Yeah, it's a goodie.
Mm,
And don't try and warn children off them. We had this like in the 80s,
no,
Baron, with the parental guidance stickers. Yeah. I
yeah.
listened
Oh
to
yeah.
all of the music
Yeah,
you put the stickers on,
yeah,
all of those
exactly.
albums.
It's just making them
Yeah.
go, oh, I want to see what it's all about now. You're making it
Yeah.
seem, forbidden.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
And the more you decry this movie, etc., more
Mm,
people are going to go say, "Oh, how bad could it possibly
yeah,
be?" It
yeah,
becomes like a
yeah,
test, a challenge, and we live
yeah.
in the age
I
of
like
instant
how
challenges.
I like how in the same way that Black Christmas was protested back when it came out,
Yeah,
and for
that's
that,
great.
the killer wasn't even wearing a Santa suit in Black Christmas. It was just that poster that had the Santa arm coming out
Of
the
the
chimney holding the
sanctity of
axe.
Santa.
Yeah. And they were like, oh no, protesting that. So there have been people protesting Terrifier 3 because of
Oh,
the fact that here's someone dressed as Santa going around killing people.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. That is amazing. Thank you for that. That's a great fact. That's fucking awesome. Awesome. Okay. Um, yeah, we touched on the video. Okay, so Baron, did we get to where were we at with fave kills?
Oh.
Well, I've done mine. My
Yeah.
favorite kill, mother. I give an
Mother,
honorable mention.
yeah, the rats. Okay.
Mm.
Dorian. So
Oh.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll come back to you, Baron.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the podcaster.
Oh, okay. She deserved it. I didn't like her either. Yeah. When she
Yeah.
was assaulting a Sienna. Yeah, just asking crazy
Yeah.
personal questions to a person straight out of an asylum by one
Yeah.
and two.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. That's a goodie. That's a goodie. Okay. Mine is the bomb.
Oh, yes.
That just
Yeah.
made me
Yeah.
cackle,
Because
and it was
yeah,
just
because for
so
that,
crazy and over the
yeah, it
top.
just
Yeah.
kind of the lead up to it, I'm like, there's gonna be a bomb in there, isn't it? This is it's a bomb. It's a bomb, yeah. And then
It was berserk. Now, a little tidbit
so
behind the scenes.
yeah.
Yeah, that the kids knew. They knew what was going to happen. Of course, they didn't tell the kids.
Mm.
They had to tell the parents, though. So the kids were going to go, "Is the clown here today that's going to blow me up? Where is he? Where is he?" All happy about it. And Damien's going, "What the fuck have I done? What have I
Yeah, there's
created?"
no bomb. You're not getting blown up. What are you talking about? Yeah, there you go.
Is that what? Ah, fantastic. Is that a legit protest pick? Yeah, like
This is
from.
from Father Ted, but it's the same thing. They
Okay,
were
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's cool, cool, cool. Yeah. No, the bomb's great. The bomb was just
Mm.
it just made me laugh. And as I
Yeah.
said before,
Yeah.
Batman level of a
Mm.
villain's thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now Damien thinks this. Do you think this is art the closest to Freddy in the horror icons? Because he has said that he would like to see Art and Freddy in a movie together, either working together or a versus type
Yeah.
thing, like Freddy
Yeah.
versus
Mm.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like even I mean obviously Art doesn't talk, but he still has that charisma. Like as
Mhm.
in the kind of charisma that Freddy has in like the first Nightmare on Elm Street, where he's
Yeah.
not this cartoonish kind of goofy character, but like he still has that charisma and is menacing.
Yeah. Like not part
Yeah.
one's a good one for that,
Mm.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And part three, yeah,
Mm.
as well, because he does up the
Yeah.
level in part three, the humor in part
Mm.
three, but he's still
Yeah.
nasty. He's not a
Mm.
rock star like he is from
Yeah.
four. So of
Yeah.
Yeah.
course. Yeah. Um, I agree entirely. I agree because David, his Davids and his Damons and his Gordon Greens and his Thorntons.
Yeah.
He does the same similar type of humor, but he doesn't do it through, just vocalizes it. He does it through his mannerisms and his physicality. Yeah. And that's how good, he is. And he does love Robert England and he loves Lon Chaney, Butler, Buster Keaton. And so he's mixing great Doug Jones, of course, and mixing great physical act in with the iconic horror style actors of Kane Hodder and Robert England, etc., which is awesome. Works really well. Okay, Brother's Death. Little punk person. Dorian, it broke my heart. It sung. Baron, you heard me sigh and despair almost when I saw the skull.
Like I understand why they didn't show it until that reveal, for the sake of that reaction.
That's fine.
But also, I'm like,
but it's him.
I kind of wanted to see that death. Same thing for the uncle. I wanted to see the uncle's death. So the uncle's death might have been one of the cut scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There is also the high possibility he'll come back in Terrifier 4 as well. Sienna, basically did die in Terrifier 2, and look at her now. She's, up and kicking. But yeah, that broke my heart. Baron, what did you think of it?
Of the death of the brother? I agree. I would have liked to have seen it to give it weight. However, what the filmmakers did was more emotionally satisfying.
Yeah. That's a point. It made me feel a lot, definitely.
Yeah.
A little more build up is all I would have asked for. Just because we don't see him do much in this film. I don't know what it was, a scheduling thing or something. I don't know. It doesn't sully take away from the film at all, though. Don't get me wrong. All right. So what do we want to see in Terrifier 4 now that it's greenlit and go? Yeah.
Versus Ash Williams.
Oh my God, that'd be so good.
Damien wouldn't disagree. I don't think.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Please.
Terrifier 4 will see the return of Gabby as the Archangel character, as in Archangel Gabriel.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Good, sir. That's great.
I will make that prediction. I'm not going to put any money on it.
You're saying it now, so then when it happens, you can say, "See, I called it. I have proof."
Yeah, by the Baron. Excellent. I want to see more of it.
She's going to look like the drawing.
Say that again, please.
She's going to look like the drawings from the comic book with the armor and
I'll do a little bit on that coming soon. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Fantastic. I want to see more of the dreamscape stuff that was mentioning with Mary and the Black-Clad Demon, more demonic stuff, absolutely. To get really into what this demon is that possessed Vicky for a lot of this film. We have a lot more Vicky.
She was so good. She was so good. My God. The shard of glass.
That scene.
Oh my God.
I think I turned away once or twice.
That was so good.
Yeah. No, I just realized I did actually.
Oh
in a
my
movie.
God. Get on my level. Coward.
But
I wasn't. I wanted it there. But I was just like, is that really happening? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Silence in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky was great. I'm glad because he got a bit of criticism for certainly the first one, Terrifier, the feature, for having the side characters seem inconsequential, cattle to the slaughter. So that's why T2 came back with strong characters with Sienna Shaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I think I had a point there. Sorry, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. We're almost at the end. We're almost at the end here. Okay. What Stephen King adaptations would you like to see Damien Leone tackle?
I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with enough Stephen King. Like at the moment, I feel that Mike Flanagan is just like top of his game in terms of adapting Stephen King work. So
Sure.
I'm just like Mike Flanagan, just give everything to Mike Flanagan.
It'd be
Seems to be
interesting
doing
to
good
see
so far.
an ultra gory one. Mine's Cujo along those
Oh
lines.
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, get the dog into the car and get the dog and then tearing
Let
apart.
the child actually die.
Yeah, and then go off and do more. Yeah, that kind of Cujo, I think, would be interesting from Damien. Yeah, otherwise that could be a trauma film. Saying it out loud. Baron, what do you reckon?
Still thinking. Maybe The Long Walk, one of the Richard Bachman books. Oh,
As a change of, genre approach. Because isn't that a slower burn?
Change of pace. But I would like to it is, but there's plenty of horror in it. But I think if I had to pick one quickly, so there's no dead air, and while I'm not just chatting out of the top of my head, while I'm still thinking, I would like to see Damien Leone's Dark Tower.
Yeah. That's one of David Thornton's favorites of Stephen King. So you had to see him get on board. Yeah.
He's an amazing role.
Yeah, he would. As the gunslinger, he would, wouldn't he, actually? Yeah. Because he does show a great emotional range and depth. Because when he starts using the gun, in the bar, and when his face drops to that deadpan, serious stone-faced killer, it's dark. Yeah, and to see him go deeper into that as a kind of metaphysical Western gunslinger in this alien Western desert world. I don't know if you've ever read it. That's the Dark Tower series. The movie doesn't convey anything.
Yeah.
Books. Let me just check my bookshelf. I'm just going to check my bookshelf.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. Whilst he's doing that, just quickly, I know you know this there, Dorian, but for people who don't, okay, Terrifier the short was constantly rejected by film festivals, so Damien uploaded it to YouTube and it racked up 120K views. This caught the attention of producer Jesse Baggett, the creator of All Hallows Eve, and he asked and got Damien to include his film The Ninth Circle in the anthology. Check it out if you haven't. Damien saw this as an opportunity towards a Terrifier feature and offered to and did direct the entire anthology. He launched an Indiegogo campaign for a Terrifier feature, but it fell short. Enter producer Phil Falcone, who put up the necessary money to fund the film as long as he got a producer credit. The movie was a success, but many criticized the inconsequential nature of the side characters. And that is Catherine Cochran. And what's who plays Tara? You could look that up. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Damon lamented these choices, certainly in the case of Vicky. This would be rectified in feature films. Because Tara was cool.
Yeah. Tara was Jenna Cannell.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know how to say her surname, but yeah. Yeah, I liked what happened with Tara in that because you think that she's going to be the final girl, and then he just shoots her.
Do. Yeah. He goes, oh, I didn't see that. I thought the slash of knives, usually just blades, metals. Yeah. Okay. One sec there, Baron.
Yeah. Really interestingly, I rewatched Terrifier, the first one, and after having seen Terrifier 3, the first Terrifier feels really goddamn tame.
Yeah.
Feels really tame.
It'd be bizarre to see where they're going to take it next. In terms of all that. I look forward to it.
It's all been escalation. Like it's been escalating since the first one.
It has. In different ways, different approaches. Baron, continue. You found something on your bookshelf there?
Sleepwalkers.
Okay.
They did make a movie. The movie was okay, but they did not even get close to the horror of that novel.
I haven't read it. Cool.
Yeah, it was really whitewashed. So I would go with Sleepwalkers, but I would love to see his version of The Stand. I would love to see his version of The Shining. Oh, his version of The Shining.
Oh my
That's not
God.
bad. That's actually really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Salem's Lot. Like, I know we've just got
Mm,
another remake of it. I'd
mm,
love to see his version of Salem's Lot.
yeah.
Carrie.
Not
Oh.
so.
No, I don't know. I'd give him
No.
Carrie.
Oh no,
You
hang on.
expect
Sorry, I'm thinking of Firestarter. He would be great.
that's actually makes business sense as well because they attempted to
Mm,
do that recently-ish, but apparently it was an abomination.
mm,
Really bad with Zac Efron in it. Yeah, not that that's a turn off. He's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Once he's done with Terrifier after part
Yeah.
4, do some definitely if that's what you're feeling. Give him the money to do so. Point being, okay. Now, of course, Damien loves 70s grindhouse and exploitation films. Why do you think art is called art?
Oh, good question.
I don't know.
Neither do I. Just food for
5
thought.
characters. It is available on YouTube.
Okay, cool. There we go. Thank you. Pale Girl's origins. Before Terrifier 1, Art had killed an 11-year-old girl called Emily Crane.
Mm,
Now, the crazy lady with the plastic baby doll in
mm.
T1 calls the baby Emily. Is this Pale Girl? It is suggested out there that it is. It's a little theory thrown out there.
Makes sense.
Art, they've planned this from the get-go, yeah? Yeah.
Mm.
And he likes to drop little Easter eggs in terms of plot and references. Okay, you've gone over Mike Gianelli. Thank you. David was the 6th person to audition for the role and was cast there and then, pretty much. In the audition, he improvised a kill scene where Art was tasting his victim's blood and then seasoning it with salt. Yeah, remember, salt comes back in T2. He had previously worked as a mime and was a famous cosplayer as the Joker. I've gone over his influences, but he did say that he sees Art as the love child of Harpo Marx and Freddy Krueger. Yeah, which I think pretty much sums it up. The Stephen King tweets, that movie, The Terrifier, looks pretty good. Has anyone seen it? That was the first one. Number 2, grossing you out old school. And again, it was on the DVD and Blu-ray boxes. He has his own comic book series. That's where I've taken the still from there. So that's Catherine Cochran there and David. 3-issue series written by Steve McGuinness. He's underground. Yeah, I couldn't see anything big famous he's done. But I'm great for giving him the chance to do it. And they've become really crazy expensive, $500 to $1,000 an issue. Yeah, on eBay, etc. after Terrifier 2. I want popcorn buckets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do we not have popcorn buckets?
Yeah.
Explain this to me, please. It's because we're down here, isn't it? It's down here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sucks. We like these movies a lot down here.
Yes.
Where does this place on the box office there, Baron? Could you look that up, please, if you don't mind? Being my pull it up, Jamie. What's that?
What are we talking about?
Where is this in the movie charts, the box office in Australia?
Right, okay.
Where does this sit at the moment? Yeah. All right. So the video games. Does anyone know Fear and Hunger 2 Terminator? Dorian, do you know Needles? No. He is a character closely modeled after. He will inject you with needles. He looks a lot like Art the Clown, and he has
except he's Freddy Krueger in Dream Warriors.
Cat of nine tails with needles and sharp objects. Yeah, I mentioned the COD, Call of Duties, etc. before. That's also got Sam from Trick or Treat and Michael Myers in it now.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I love Sam.
Sam's adorable. Sam's fucking adorable. It's got to be a Mortal Kombat. Art fatalities. I mean, come on.
That would be amazing.
Okay. What did we think about the blasphemy in the film? I'll finish off with this. Main bit was the Crown of Thorns.
Yeah.
And the Christmas scene, there was one little moment where I went, oh, that's blasphemous. I can't quite pinpoint it, but it was, there it definitely was. But mostly the crown of goddamn thorns, yeah.
Yeah.
And we think about
That's good.
Mary, where it's going as well.
Mm.
You know what I mean? This is going to get kind of
Yeah.
biblical, isn't it? Where it's going,
Yeah.
yeah. I like it.
Absolutely.
I'm here for that. What about you
Mm.
guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It's very obvious it's going to lean a lot heavier into the religious stuff in the next movie, given how this one ended. So
Yeah, and also at the end of Terrifier short, as that came to a close, the production, he envisioned Damien heroine in an angel armor, yeah, Sienna, yeah. But then he changed track with T1, just made him a straight up guy, serial killer. And then, but then, of course, in Terrifier 2, the Valkyrie is also very angelic. I mean, she's wearing wings, yeah. She's walking around the mall and such, just, usual, teenage pretty girl wings, if you will. Yeah. So that's definitely going to come into play, which is great. And I think the way that it's slowly being revealed and the way that this is all organically evolved from basically a showcase for a makeup artist, which is great. Because I've said before, like that the prosthetic guys, the makeup artists such as yourself who specialize in the darker side of things, not to put it reductively, but simply, you in terms of horror, scare acting, all of that, you guys are, central to that, or locus point of that. If that's not good, then there's nothing. It all stems out from there. Yeah.
And I
in
think
the
that
kitchen,
if
you've got to wash the dishes, and you've got to make sure they're done fucking well.
Yeah. I think that if Damien Leone didn't have that background in special effects that he does, then the violence and the gore and all that kind of stuff in these movies would not be the way that they are. Like he has like
absolutely.
The gore in Stream, like you can tell that this is a Damien Leone thing. Like it has a very, very similar look and
I might
feel.
watch that tonight.
Terrifier is currently 3rd on the Australian charts.
Ooh, hell yeah.
What's 1 and 2? Please.
The Wild Robot and Joker Folie à Deux.
Yeah, I will say it was really, really, really cool being able to watch a movie like Terrifier in the cinema.
How good is it?
Like,
I
like
missed out on the
usually
first two, the second one. I
Yeah,
was so stupid not to go see it at the cinema.
Yeah, usually Australia doesn't get these kinds of movies in cinemas. So to have it in cinemas and being able to watch it in a cinema was so cool. Yeah.
Because as a movie YouTube internet nerd, being able to keep up all the reviews and opinions and reactions, and actually not have to worry about spoilers, it's great. It's great. So yeah.
Do you know about the upcoming side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That looks great. I want that.
Yeah.
It's like 2 games I now need to own: the Silent Hill 2 remake and this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to become a gamer. God damn it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll become old man gamer.
Yeah.
You know,
There's also an Ash versus the Evil Dead side scroller coming.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm in. I'm in.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I've done all the hard work working on my feet for 20 plus years. He's younger now. I'll become an old man gamer. I deserve
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've earned it. And there's going to be these kind of games coming, definitely. And I'm very happy with the horror movies that we are getting. I've watched some goodies. Oddity was cool.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked that out, check that out on Shudder. There's a recommendation if you want some art house stuff. Aiken 2 stop motion. That sort of thing, very symbolic, very ambiguous in the way the plot's put together. But if you like that sort of thing, I definitely recommend. We still have Nosferatu, I think, is the next big
Yes.
anticipated horror film to be released at Christmas time, which is flipping awesome. The movies that we're getting for Christmas and then the Christmas movies in October, I love it.
This is
Horror's just
Terrifier
messing
3.
it all up.
Yeah. Terrifier 3 is it's so focused around it being Christmas. Like,
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
and so it is such a perfect Christmas movie. If you like this kind of sick and twisted stuff, then it's like, that's my new Christmas movie.
And the way that Damien has evolved as a filmmaker, I think, is shown in the way that he portrays Christmas, and the style in which he portrays Christmas as well. Very vintage, very grainy. And just a little off. It's not wholesome whatsoever. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. No, it's great work. It's great work. And I really look forward to see what he does with T4. They'll get more money. It's number one in America in 4 fucking days. A better DC movie. Just watched it. Sorry, Baron?
Interesting to see who he gets as celebrity cameos for number 4.
Oh, yeah. We completely glossed over the fact that Tom Savini has a cameo in this.
That's right. Yeah.
On the TV report talking about the fact that this bomb went off in the middle of the mall and killed some children. And one of the people they're interviewing is Tom Savini.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's not playing Tom Savini, but yeah.
Yeah, me and Baron both audibly.
Yeah, there he is. I knew that he was having a cameo in it. I just didn't know when. So I'm like,
Good work with the marketing campaign, the trailers and such, not giving away that Vicky's going to become a prominent part of the film. It's the sidekick. Other than Pale Girl, there's Vicky as the demonic sidekick for this one. Which is great. I like that little trope that's naturally been formed. I could do this all night. All night. Yeah. So let's get to ratings. It's a 4.5. It's a 4.5. The only thing down is if you basically gotten an objective eye that you trusted, do what David Lynch does. Yeah, you're obviously inspired. Lynch sits there with someone that he knows and trusts and has come up and built to be his, because you're obviously going to make more films after this. You're set. Your career's set. Get someone that you know and trust to sit there and you oversee, and then they can give you a slap in the hand when you're going too far and being a bit too personal, can't let go. So otherwise it would be a 5. This is a 4.5 for me. This is very fucking delicious, and I was expecting that. Is it the best one? I need to rewatch 2 and 3 both, but it very well could be the way it's actually grown on me. Yeah. We'll go Baron first. We'll finish off with you at the end, Dorian.
Look, I agree 100%. I give it a 4.5. I think the editing could have been tightened up a little bit, but everything else was great. There's probably just a couple of things they could have done a little bit better with the editing, and that's my only quibble with it.
Excellent. And Dorian, please.
Yep, 4.5 as well for the same reasons. And I have over the past 2 days rewatched All Hallows Eve, Terrifier, and Terrifier 2. So those are all fresh in my mind, and Terrifier 3 is the best one so far.
There we go.
Okay. What do you think, Baron? Have you decided at this point?
I haven't seen All Hallows Eve, so I'm gonna have
It's
to
on
watch
Shudder. It's on
Yeah,
Shudder.
I just had a look for it, and it's like, oh, well, that gives me something to watch before I watch Rogue for the next thing we're doing. So yeah.
Nicely done. And I've seen everything. So I need to see Terrifier 2 and 3 again before I decide, but very much could be. And so if you are somehow here and you're happy to go see the film, do go see it.
Yes.
Do go see it. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you've stayed with us and you've watched the film with us, thank you as always. And so we've got Rogue coming up. We're going to be recording Salo. We've got Scream Queens, Love Lies Bleeding audio. Do check it out as well.
Listen, folks, it's really good.
What's that, sorry?
Give it a listen, folks. It's really good.
It is. And I'll say this coming from me. If you're a cis dude watching the film, even if you feel that you're woke, you're an ally, whatever, do definitely listen to it, because she makes some really cool points involving the queer relationship in the film and how queer people see it, as spectators, as people. Yeah, it's great. It's really great. And we thank you for the good response on the 1 minute little restroom reaction we did there, Dorian. Me and went into the bathroom and recorded it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Got a little Cade response. It was great. We got over like 150 in one day and still counting. So that's fantastic. Really makes me think we should do a TikTok. Yeah. For 30 seconds to 60, but after. And and we're doing Salo.
Yes.
I'm ready. Jesus Christ, this film.
Yeah, while I was watching it, I'm like, oh yeah. Now I remember how I felt about it the first time watching it. I feel the exact same way now.
Middle of the day, good state of mind. So you want to watch, Baron? King?
What's that?
It's a bit of Salo, but 120 days of Sodom.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
See you there, sickos. You sick children out there.
Turn away in the scene where she was pleasuring herself with the shard of mirror. So
I was cackling at that. So
how were the others cackling, or was it just you? Just out of curiosity.
No, pretty much everyone else in the audience was just as sick and twisted. At least as far as I could tell.
That was the opening
as
night,
in laughing at moments of intense gore. So
I've got to make a habit, I think, of going to the premiere screenings, the opening night screenings, I think, because that's when you get the true horror fans, so the horror heads, the horror fiends there. Definitely. And shout out to New Farm Cinema for putting such a thing on, and Monster Fest. Definitely. I would like to commune in the future. We're all wanting to support this sort of thing in Australia. So we will see you next time. Yeah, children. What's that? Have you got cards? Is that a business card? Wow, okay. I'll have a look at that next time I'm in the dungeon. That's awesome. Oh, you're too much. All right. Okay. We've been keeping it fucking gory, just disgusting. Terrifier 3. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Go to bed, children.
Art will fucking
it'll murder you in your sleep.
Yeah.
It'll murder you in your bed.
Whoa.